Good morning, everybody. And it is Monday. It's December 27th, the end of the year. And it's a good time that you're on the call. This call is going to cover the top tools to get more listings. Okay. So there are a number of tools, whether you have listings or even if you don't have listings, we have tools to help you get more listings. Now, we have a lot of other tools as well, right? We do a lot of automated social media tools. We have a lot of ways to help you get buyers. We have a whole, open house marketing platform. We've got over 50 PDF reports branded and written for you. So we got all kinds of ways for you to capture leads to grow your business. And the point of today's call is focusing on the tools that are going to help you get more listings. But before I get into that, there are a couple of things we're going to dive into, and one is a completely new feature that I think is live for everybody. So let's go look at it. When you log into Listings to Leads, I don't know if you've noticed it, but there's been a follow-up tab for a while. And it would always say, when you'd come here, it'd say, sign up for the beta version. Well, I signed up for the beta version, and now it's live in my account, okay? So if you've signed up for the beta version, it's gonna be live in your account. Let me just tell you very simply what it is. This is our first rev of a follow-up campaign similar to a CRM, right? But we're not really trying to get in the CRM space because they do so much. But what we do know is many realtors don't even have a CRM, right? And they quickly realize dealing with listings to leads that they should get one, right? Start generating a lot of leads. For many people, they've never experienced this kind of activity before. So what we've done is created a follow-up plan, okay? And you can see here that I've got two. They are automatically set up by default, one for sellers and one for buyers. Now, just in case you don't know this, every time we send you a lead, there is a tag in it to tell you that it's a seller or a buyer. So for a lot of our clients who do have CRMs, you can integrate your CRM on the profile and your leads will automatically go there. And if you got a great CRM or a really good, campaign that's converting your leads, well, then stick with it. But I could just broad brush it right now and say in the United States, at least 50% of realtors do not have even a CRM, and probably even more don't have a CRM that actually helps them convert leads. It just drips on them, right? Now, we think we can do better. We think we can help our clients and what we, in terms of converting leads. In case you don't know this, we have been around for, I think we can actually say 12 years this year in January. It's not January yet, but in January we can say 12 years. And we have, succeeded simply because we help our clients get leads, right? Yeah, we have automated marketing tools, and yeah, we make you look awesome. And yeah, we do everything, on social media better than any other company in real estate advertising. But we also capture more leads by volume and by price per lead, better price per lead than I think any other competitor in real estate advertising. Like I think 100% positive that is a true and fair statement. So what we want to do now in 2022 at Listings to Leads is help you convert leads. We're going to do kind of two things. We're going to simplify listings to leads. We do so much. I know it's overwhelming for a lot of people, but it's good you take the time to learn what we can do, because there are a couple of handfuls of tools here that are just going to set your business apart and really help you grow. So that's one thing. We're going to simplify it. Things are going to be easier for you in the future to use listings to leads. But the other thing we're going to do is develop more tools to help you convert the leads, because you don't actually make money until you convert a lead, right? Until you get a contract. So this part right here is the first step. So when you come here, there'll be a little walk around wizard telling you, look around, see what you got here. But the gist of it is there are 2 campaigns and you can turn them on. I'm going to turn mine on for sellers and I'm going to turn mine on for buyers. I guess I'm going to just save. Yeah. And it's telling you it's only going to send leads to future contacts and maybe some recent ones. A lot of you have been clients for years. And we don't want to start sending them a drip campaign if you collected that lead 2 years ago, right? So we are making sure we're not doing that. So we're really, any new leads are going to start getting this. Now I just turned it on, but you should also click in here and it says, you know, to see the follow-up. And you can actually click in here on every one of these and see what the message is going to be. See exactly what it's going to look like. I think right off the bat, you're going to see we're using our PDFs in there. We're continually offering, you know, home values. We're giving really what we consider higher quality messages, okay? I think a lot of drip campaigns in CRMs, they're great by dripping text on people, right? And at the bottom of the text will be your name and email and maybe your phone number and like, hey, if you ever need help, call me, right? That's what the average drip campaign in CRMs is today. And as you can see here, they can download value information all the time, and then we're offering them value with every step. Now, this is just phase 1 of this follow-up campaign. What's going to be added is text, so you can text these leads at the same time automatically. We're looking at some concepts of developing voicemail, like slide dial, so that will be automatically integrated into this. We're seeing what we're going to do about that, and we're also going to incorporate video, right? So we know, and probably you know, that people will respond to video a lot more than they will to just a standard email. So we want to apply all of those technologies to this, and in 2022, I am 100% certain you're going to see all 3 of those things added to this. That will make this follow-up system, in my opinion, stronger than 99% of all CRM drip campaigns that are out there. Now, there are some cool drip campaigns out there, and there are a few companies using the kinds of things that I've just described. We're going to be doing this either with technology partners or building it in-house, right? And for us, we just want to make sure that our clients can convert leads. So if you've got your own CRM that is super powerful and getting your phone to ring and getting contracts, carry on. If you don't, go to the follow-up tab over here, turn it on, and then like I've done, turn on the drip campaigns, and you will notice that those are going to start working. And just keep an eye as we continue to tell you in the mastermind group that we're adding new functionality. So that's number 1, okay? That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Just as a reminder, because I see a lot of people coming on the call, the focus of this call is actually where are the tools to get more listings, right? And we're almost there. But I have one more thing to talk about. All right. Now, this is something that Scott has put together just a couple months ago. And we've been saying that we want to present this, but we just haven't gotten that done. So I'm going to kind of bop through it real quickly because there's something really important here. And this is really to help you understand 2022 in relationship to your business, okay? So the concept here is, you know, how are you going to make over $250,000 in real estate? And that's the question, right? So there are like 50 pages in here. There's almost 50 pages in here. And I keep asking Scott to like boil this down. So I'm not going to give you the 50-page version. I'm going to give you probably a 5-page version. And we're going to get right down to what you need to think about and what we can do for you and what you need to use to get this machine going, okay? So yeah, you know, you can see here's 250,000. I'm going to show you the metrics to get to that. You might be saying in your brain, I just want to make 50,000 or 100,000, and I'm going to show you where you can calculate that and make those adjustments. So just hold tight. This page here is just saying, oh, we got all kinds of partners. We work with all these companies and great, so that you believe what I'm about to tell you. Let me tell you why you should believe what I'm about to tell you. We have thousands of clients. We've been doing this for 12 years, and we know what in the world we are doing when it comes down to getting leads. And we see our clients, how they're converting leads, right? So you may be very new to us. You may not be very good at capturing leads with our system. Maybe you are good at capturing leads, but you're not good at converting, and still there's more to learn. So what I'm here to show you in this presentation is a way to think about your business. So if you're having like, it's year end, it's quiet. Are you thinking about next year? Well, here's a good way to look at it. The roadmap. How do I get to $250,000? Well, how many leads do you need a month? Where do they come from? Doesn't matter. And how do you actually generate leads? We're going to answer all three of those questions here in just a couple minutes here. I did tell you there's like 40 pages on here. I'm kind of pushing through this just so that we can get it in just a few pages where I think you really need to know. So lead engagement and conversion, I'll show you something that's a little more meaningful there. But how many leads do I need a month, right? And so this is, I'm going to give you a calculator in a second. I'm going to show you where it is, where you can say, hey, my average sales price is 200, or my average sales price is 500. And you can make adjustments to this, but we're kind of boiling out the commission. We're getting a commission split. We're actually projecting how much you can earn on a month and how many leads you need to get there, right? That's what the whole thing of this is, right? Closing at 1%. So we're not even telling you you can close at a higher percent. We're just going to go with the average, the industry average, 1%, 100 leads to close one deal, right? So looks like 350 leads a month, right? To get a $300,000 sale. That's kind of it, right? So again, if you generate 350 leads a month, close 1%, that's 250,000 a year, assuming your homes are selling on an average at 300,000. Okay, so you kind of understand that. Now, if you want this presentation, I will send it to you today. And what I'm on the third or fourth page here, and there's a green button that just highlighted. It says go to lead calculator, and this is a live page on our website. And I actually think you can get here. Let me just go look. Listings to leads / calculator. Yeah, you can get here, right? So you can say, well, listen, I don't need to make 250. I want to make 100,000, right? Just saying. Well, I'm just letting you know you can change things in this calculator. And I'm going to say, you know what, our average sale price is 200,000. And you can make the changes if you need to change your thing, and it's going to tell you how many leads. You can see if I need to earn 100,000 in commission net, I need 209 leads, right? Now there's another point down here, which is in the presentation. Are you an experienced agent or a new agent? Because I'm going to show you in the presentation, and it probably makes some sense to you, but actually the answer is right here. There are 4 areas where leads can come from: social media, your farm, your database and sphere, and your seller's sphere of influence, okay? Now, if you're a new agent, you don't have a big database, right? I mean, unless you came out of like maybe you were a lender. There, a lot of people come in new to the business, have their license, and they need to get going. So what happens if I'm a new agent, right? Well, you can click that and you'll see that your pie shape is going to change, because you're not going to have all of the categories to go out and get leads from. The biggest one being a database, right? If you're an experienced agent, you've been doing this for 5 or 10 years, you've got a database somewhere. And so the lead gen is different, right? I think that's easy to understand. If we go back to the presentation, here's another interesting point. Let me click through this. One thing about lead conversion is, depending on where you get the lead, it's going to impact how long it takes to convert the lead. right? So an internet lead is going to convert the longest. Farm leads from your farm are the shortest. Your database lead, your sellers, these all have a different conversion time, right? So that's kind of important too. I will say that farm leads, it makes sense that they convert faster, but they also take more work and many times cost more money than an internet lead. An internet lead, I can throw my credit card on, I click a couple buttons, I can automate it, whatever. And and so they're easier to get. They just don't convert as fast into a closing, right? A transaction. And that's an important piece. So I think the rest of this goes through just more details about all that, right? And so, but we are saying you do want to have a mixture of buyer and seller leads, and the cost of those are going to be different because depending on how you're getting them, where you're getting them. But here's a good page for you to think of, right? And I think we're going to stop here. So if this plan at $250,000 of income is suggesting that you need 350 new leads a month, that's about 90 leads a week. And I'd like to stop there because I'd like to ask you, how many leads a week do you generate? And just put it in the chat panel. Now, we've got clients, we have a client that I've never heard of, came in the mastermind group and just said, yeah, I just generated hundreds of leads all this month at 8 cents a lead or something insane. So while you might not be doing this kind of lead gen, you're going to want to do that kind of lead gen if you want to project your earnings for 2022. Okay, now I keep clicking through this and it's just going to show you more stuff and more detail and more people saying like, oh yeah, I generate all kinds of leads, right? That's cool. And I'd rather just get out of this now, because instead of showing you the presentation, let's get into the system and let's talk about what we really wanted to talk about, which is how do I get seller leads, right? Now, what we've talked about is the follow-up. That's brand new, just launched today, or I think on Friday, actually. And then we also just talked about the calculator, which I think you should all look at if you want to sort of project your business. You don't even have to go look at this big presentation. If you want this presentation, you can just sort of email me or something, I'll send it to you. But it's just a lot more detail. But really at this point, it's all kind of right here in this pie chart and these things right here. This is what you're going to need to know, and then to get on the action plan, right? Now, one thing I think we're going to do, Scott and I have been talking about, is to literally create a page for buyers and for sellers. Meaning, if you want buyers, we should just get you to the point of just, go there and do all those things on that page. And if you want sellers, go there and do all the things on that page. Right now, you kind of got to get on this call to know where are the tools, right? So now I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I see some questions coming in. If you have questions, now would be a good time to throw them at me, because I'm going to now, after I take a sip of coffee, go into the tools to get listing leads, okay? That person stated she had, 448 leads, yeah. So Michael is mentioning that in the mastermind group, one of our clients came in just last week and blew me away, and she generated 448 leads. If you're a client, you need to be in the mastermind group. And I will tell you this, I went and looked in her account. She generated all those leads this month. And she did it from just marketing different listings. So those are a lot of buyer leads though, and buyer leads are really cheap. So if I clicked on the mastermind group here, and it was actually last week that she announced that in the group, and a lot of our clients put their questions there, and a lot of our clients put their successes there and say, hey, I just did this, right? And she was saying she was excited. I think she's down in Arizona. She got 8 cents a lead for 447 leads. This is Scott kind of restating it. But the actual client came in last week and said it. And so, I kind of looked around and said, wow, I mean, that's that. I thought she might have been saying she had done that, has been the lifetime of our client, but actually she generated 448 leads, 447 this month in December, right? So yeah, we can totally do that. And I'm just scrolling through here looking at it for now. Let's get back to what we need to talk about, which is how do I get listings with listings to leads? So there's really 3 areas to concentrate on, right? It's almost 2, but I'm going to say 3. Let's start on the listings page. Now, I want to say that even if you don't have listings, like your own listings, you can still do what I'm about to show you, okay? So this is my listings page, and it's got all my listings. Now, some of them are borrowed, some of them are mine. You might not have your own listing, so if you want to try what use the tools I'm about to show you, click on Add Listing, and you can grab a listing. And in this case, you would deselect that it's not your listing, and you drop the zip code and the MLS ID in. But you want to do this when you've spoken to a realtor, and make sure, like, hey, do you mind if I use your listing to market so that I can generate some leads, right? And a lot of agents will say yes. Of course, there are going to be agents that say no, but you just want to get that. Once you've got that permission, go here, grab it, and pull it in, and it's going to be in your account. Now, one activity that really gets where a lot of our clients do that is during an open house. You might have a listing agent that's got an open house that's too busy to be there, and you're going to go sit on that. Well, you can just use that green button, grab it, pull it in. It'll pull everything in with the photographs, and it will look like your listing. And all the leads captured from these tools, they will only go to you. Okay. Now, when we get here, this is how we market a listing. There are a lot of tools that we create, right? But the point of this call is, what are the tools to help me get more listings? So let me just say them right now. Number 1 tool, nearby homeowner letter. Okay. E-flyer for your database. This means if you have a database. Remember, I was talking about the lead calculator, and I said if you're a new agent, you don't have a database, right? Because you don't have like 1,000 leads sitting in your CRM. If you're an experienced agent, you might have more than that, right? So when we get back here, this really works if you've got a CRM. Does that make sense? If you've got a database somewhere, right? The seller social media. This does not work if you are not the listing agent. So if you're borrowing a listing and you are, doing the open house, you really can't use this tool, right? Because it's got your name here and your office, and that's not really, you just don't want to use this. But if it's your listing, this is an absolutely great tool to use. And it's it's kind of a new concept, frankly, and new to the real estate industry. We've had it for more than 10 years. And we actually have this tool because our clients designed it. And they said, we're doing this and we're getting really great leads. And we thought it made sense. And we applied it to our system. This is to market an open house. Okay. And this tool is emailed to you, and it tells you forward it to your seller and call them. Okay. And then tell them to put it on their wall, on their Facebook wall. Now, I'm not going to get into all the ways that we market, but we actually can auto post your listings like this to your Facebook business pages, and we can automatically run ads for you. You don't even have to click any buttons anymore. You can just say, I want you guys to run an ad automatically for this much money every month, right? Automatic. But this tool is not for you if you're the listing agent. It's definitely not for you if you're borrowing a listing. But if you're the listing agent, it's not for your Facebook wall. It's to go to this homeowner, tell them to put it on the wall. Because you see here, it says seller's Facebook page. When they put it on there, it's going to say you at your office is doing a lot of marketing. And frankly, you are their realtor, okay? And if anybody clicks on that post on Facebook, it takes them to the single property website. And the single property website has everything that you would sort of want to see on home. It also offers multiple times a free home value. We do this because we know that people who are looking at homes for sale often own a home. They just don't want to talk to a realtor right now. So our tools are offering the information about the home, but at multiple times, we ask, would you like your home value, right? We know this, you know it's true. You know that there are people out there looking for weeks and months on the internet at homes long before they're going to talk to a realtor, right? So even when our call to action comes up, if they say, oh yeah, I'll give you my name and email, we're going to ask, do you own a home? If they say yes, do you need to sell it? Right? This is great information to have on a lead, so definitely you want to be using that. But the whole point is, these leads are not random internet leads. These leads are coming from your client's sphere of influence, meaning your client's friends and family and colleagues on Facebook, and they're telling them that you are their realtor. This is something that most of our clients, it takes a while for them to get their arms around. What you need to really think of is in your listing presentation, tell people that you have a very strong presence on social media. Tell them that you put your listings on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Zillow, YouTube, and Instagram. And tell them that you even have tools for them for their social media, because you want to get more exposure and more offers and more money for their home. You let them know that you're doing this in the listing presentation, and they're not going to blink when you send this to them. Okay. Now, this particular home is an open house. I want to show you that same tool on a home when it's sold. Okay. And when the home is sold, a lot of people feel like, oh God, I don't have anything to do to market, right? And that's a kind of a crazy thought process, but that's where a lot of our clients still think. This is what that seller's post looks like when it's sold. It says, our home just sold and we want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. And here's your phone number and email from your profile automatically in front of my clients, friends, and family and colleagues. Okay. We create this tool automatically for you. You should forward it to your client and you should call them for 5 seconds and say, hey, I just sent you something. Would you put that on there? We want more people to know that, we're selling your home. Of course, after you sold the home, I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy and get this on there. It's basically a pre-written testimonial. This does not generate 50 or 100 leads. It might generate 2 or 3, right? It might generate 5. But the funny thing is, this is not an ad either. And many of our clients have gotten leads months after this was used, and they're getting high quality listing leads turning into listing appointments. And I think a lot of our clients would say if they can get a listing appointment, they're going to close it, right? Yeah, Lizette, you just closed on a property, marketed as sold. And I would definitely recommend this tool as well. And I'll just point it out. If you've got a property that's sold, let's just look at it here. When you run an ad, it's not saying, hey, do you want to become a buyer on that home? It's saying that affected your home value. So click here to get your free home value. So Lizette, definitely marketing a home that's sold is one of the great ways of getting listing leads, okay? Now, one other thing I want to tell you, and this really, Lizette, you need to watch this. But this is true for everybody. When you're running ads for listings, okay, when you're running ads trying to get homeowners to sell homes, you need to take this step. And I'm going to show this to you. And I've asked Scott for us to fix this so that we don't have to do this. We're just going to start doing it automatically. You click advanced options, you click create new form questions. Hey, you don't even need, okay, you don't even need to do that. Yay, we've done it. So this is new. This is new. These are the questions that are automatically populating on the ad. So I got kind of confused because I asked Scott to do this and he did it, just didn't tell me. This form, when people respond to these ads, so Lizette, I'm going to answer your question in a moment. Your leads come back with full name, email, and phone number. Okay, pre-populated by Facebook. It also gives them these questions. And the questions are right here. What is your time frame to sell? Just dreaming, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months. Now, let me tell you, if somebody responds for 1 to 3 months, you need to get involved, right? And turning on our follow-up plan, which I mentioned earlier today, is the first smart way to do it. So let me just say, I clicked on advanced options, and you don't need to anymore. To run an ad, all you got to do is click create ad, because we're auto-populating the city, and the radius is as tight as it can get, 15 miles. We're putting a $50 ad for 7 days. So should I use share on social? Should I use share on social media? On seller social media, is that what you mean? Share on seller social media? Lizette, yes, you actually, if that was your listing, you should, this email, once you flip your property, let me just show you this. Once you go onto the listings page and you flip your property from in contract or whatever to sold, just sold listing agent, we will email that tool to you for the seller. Forward the email, click forward, and before you send it, wipe everything out except what they need. And then just type in yourself like, hey, please put this on Facebook for me, right? So excited we sold your home. Please put this on Facebook. Call them after you send it. Give it a minute for it to get over there. Call and say, I just sent you an email, and I know you get 100 emails a day just like I do, but we're so excited, would you put that up on your wall, right? That we just sold our home, right? It's a pre-written testimonial, is that you should absolutely be using that, okay? Now, Lizette, do you have your social media auto posting turned on? Because we can automatically post on your social media that you've sold this home, right? And so this says, hey, just sold and blah, blah, blah. So Lizette's not sure. I'm gonna kind of stop and go here to the profile. You should all have auto posting turned on. You go to your profile on the bottom left, you click on auto posting and connect all of these, okay? Now, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Let me just tell you guys, if you don't use Twitter or LinkedIn, we put hashtags, and you may not even know what that is. We put them in automatically. So even if you have 3 friends on Twitter, there are thousands of people in your communities following real estate. So we automatically put that in there, right? So you want to make sure and copy and paste this. So this is the content that gets auto posted. And then you connect your accounts here and get all that going. Get all that going so that, and Lizette, the reason why I'm telling you this is that before you flip your property to sold, make sure all your social media auto posting is turned on. And then when you click sold, boom, it goes all over there. So you don't need to do it one by one, right? You just flip it to sold and then run an ad as a sold property and give that tool to the seller, right, for their social media and call them for 5 seconds and then get this nearby homeowner letter and download it. And Lizette, only do this if you want more listings in that neighborhood. There are 3 versions of the same letter. And I mentioned this earlier, but this is the #1 tool that captures listing leads that turn into listing contracts. As you can see here, it's not super sexy. It's not like, there's no algorithms, artificial intelligence. It's just obvious. Want to let you know we sold a home. You can click on that. You can take this physical piece of paper to your computer and go learn about it at that web address. But then the same piece of paper says that affected your home value, so get your free home value here. Again, you're not going to get 50 leads from this. You might get 5, but these are going to be the fastest converting leads into business, into listings, that of all of the tools that we create. And frankly, of all the tools I think that you can buy in the market for listings. I know there are companies that will go out there and grade you and tell you, oh yeah, they owned it this much time or whatever, and that's cool. But to get them into a conversation is a different, ball of wax, and this starts this can start that. So on the listing side, there's only one more tool, the eFlyer for your database. And Lizette, since we're chatting here, do you have a CRM? today. Because if you've got hundreds or thousands of leads in it, you should go over here to eFlyer for your database, click this copy button where it says copy code, and go into your CRM and create an email blast. And boom, and it's gonna look like that. And it's gonna say, we just sold this home, go check it out. And that's gonna affect your home value, go here, and then boom, right? So Lizette, what CRM are you using? What company are you working with on that? Moxie. I don't know that about Moxie. Yeah, we have a lot of clients using Moxie, but I don't know if they have that. They might though. You're basically looking for the ability to do an email blast out of your CRM. And when you click copy code, you're copying the HTML that's behind this. And then you click a button on Moxie and it makes it look graphic, and then you blast it. You should really do an email to your database every week or two on any listing, on any status, even if it's borrowed. Okay, so those are the tools on the listing side to help you get more listings. Let's go over to the ad side and let's talk about the kinds of ads you can run. Now, I got to tell you, a lot of our clients, and I'm going to just take a swipe and say 50% of you have not used our ad generator, that you don't know that you can come here and create ads. And this is so powerful. Then there's so much going on here that I don't have time to tell you all of it, but you can go in the mastermind group and you can look at all of my recordings. And honestly, if you got a quiet time this time of the year, I recommend that you look at like my last 3 or 4 videos, because I'm talking about all the new technology. I'm talking about the things that are working right now. And you want to know what you can do with Facebook in here. I'm going to show you very quickly a couple of things, but we got to get back to what we got to focus on, which is how do I get listings from this? So there are a number of buttons here, right? Create listing ad. I could market a home that's just sold. Lizette, I showed you can do it on the listings page, but you could also do it right here. Just click create an ad. And all you need to do is click publish. Okay. And that's it, because we're automatically asking the question. I'm just going to click here just to make sure. I'm going to click here, create new form. And I just want to see. Yay, they actually did it properly. So you don't need to click advanced options. We got you covered. We've got the right question. What's your time frame to sell? You want to know that. We're going to ask that question anytime you run an ad looking for a listing lead. Okay, so that would be a sold property. That could be even a pending or under contract. It's all looking for sold ads. There's another important section here in the ad section, and that's create PDF report ad. And if you don't know this, there are more than 25 seller reports branded to you on every page. There are 25 buyer reports branded to you on every page. And if you want to run an ad on any of these topics, let's just go with this one, 12 mistakes. Just click create an ad. And let's look here. And here we are going out looking for sellers, right? This time you got to type in the name of the town, right? Wherever you are. And you can expand the radius if you want. I'm going to click on advanced options. I just want to make sure, Yeah, oh my God, the team is really getting good. Sometimes we push something and they haven't dotted all the I's, and I'm so excited to say that we have dotted all the I's. So when you're running an ad with one of our 25 PDF reports where you are branded on each page, we're going to be getting their name, email, and phone number, and we're going to ask them what's their time frame to sell. You should be running a PDF report probably every week, right? Notice it's a 7-day ad for 50 bucks. So I'm just lobbing it out there. You should be spending at least 200 bucks a month on Facebook. That's one ad every week. You're going to get listing leads with that. That's if you want listing leads, okay? Now, I'm just going to point out this little detail. Listing leads and buyer leads cost different. They have a different cost on Facebook. Facebook charges on average around $1. Actually, it's a little more for a buyer lead. and like $5.50 for a seller lead on average, and it's higher and lower. I know I just mentioned that this lady generated 477 leads this month, and she's getting charged 8 cents a lead, which is insane, but that is what's going on. And that might be because all the real estate agents are taking, you know, their holiday break and there's no competition, and she's just crushing it and generating a lot of leads. So I don't know what the price of leads are in your neighborhood, but it's not a flat number across the United States. Okay. So let's make sure that we understand that when we're running ads, you can run late stage listing ads, you know, under contract, pending or sold, or you can run a PDF report ad. You could even run a landing page ad like this, like what is your home worth, right? But I do want to tell you, if you've ever seen an ad like this, I don't highly recommend it if you want high quality listing leads, okay? And there are a number of reasons. The first reason is you can't target well at all because Facebook has changed a lot in the past few years. The second reason is this kind of ad has been used by agents for years. I used to train on running this ad, our clients, for many years, every week, right? Just like today, but it's blown out. Now, let me just, you know, give you the flip side of the coin. I've had agents on calls just as recently as this month say, I run that exact ad and I get listing leads, right? So if that works and it's working for you, then by all means do it, right? But in all of the tools that I'm showing you, the leads that come from this particular ad are of the weakest quality, okay? I have shown you the higher quality things first. You can do this. And in one, you know, I do recommend that you run a home value ad at least once a month, just to tell your market like you can do that, right, on Facebook. So there are a couple of questions here and they're good ones, so let's answer. First, Jennifer's saying, what's the lifetime budget mean? That's what it will cost the whole week. No, so there are two options, daily budget and lifetime budget. And I'm going to leave it on lifetime budget, but I'm going to change this is a 7-day ad. I'm going to change it to a 5-day ad, okay? Just so it's going to make the math work in our head. We're going to spend $50 max on 5 days, okay? What's the difference of lifetime or daily? If I put it on daily, that tells Facebook that every day put down $10, right? It's a 5-day ad, so $10 a day gets up to $50. I'm going to spend $50 by the end of my 5 days, okay? But it's evenly spread out, $10 a day, right? Lifetime budget tells Facebook, hey, go use your algorithms and drop my money when the most amount of people are on your website, okay? So I don't hear this question much anymore, but I used to often hear a question like, when's the best time of the day to run an ad? What's the best day to run an ad? This, I would get this back in the day when we were always talking about Craigslist. With Facebook, I don't really know, right? But Facebook knows. And when you use lifetime budget, you're telling them, put my money where your traffic is. That's really what it is, okay? So I always recommend lifetime budget. And that's the story there, okay? Now, Lizette's asking, how frequent do you suggest running ads? So let's answer that question. And I'm going to answer one more kind of techie question that nobody's asking, but you should know the answer. Man, my throat is getting sore already. I need a sip of coffee here, guys. My throat's getting changing weather. Okay, so Lizette's asking how frequent do you suggest running ads? If you are a new agent, meaning you are an agent with no listings and you're fairly new, so you don't have like you don't have anything going on basically, I recommend a $200 a month budget. That's the floor, that's the minimum, right? 300, if you run 8 ads, it defaults you to just over 300. But you can change them, and instead of running a $35 ad, you can make 20. But I would tell you that is one listing ad minimally for 4 days for 20 bucks, $5 a day, right? That's one ad every week. That is 4 days long for $20 for each ad. So that's 4 times 20 is $80. Then either run a landing page ad or a PDF report ad during the same week, every week for 30 bucks. So that's one $30 ad plus one $20 ad is $50 a week times 4 weeks is 200 bucks a month. Now, if you click these buttons, like I'm going to create a listing ad and just do a sold, or I got one under contract, our default is already higher than 20 bucks. Like it's already, it's already saying 50. So you can spend more, but you can change it down if you want to, right? It's just, you got to spend minimum of $5 a day. So, if you're a brand new agent, you should be spending 200 bucks a month on Facebook. For that, you're going to generate 100, 200 leads, maybe more. Your business page, notice mine is sponsored by Listings to Leads. Your ads are sponsored by your business page. And your business page will be seen sponsoring ads 15 to 20,000 times for that $200, okay? So if you're a new agent, I don't think there's another place where you can advertise at 200 bucks and have your brand seen 15 to 20,000 times, right? If there's anybody out there that knows a place for that kind of money, please put it in the chat panel. But that's an awesome piece of branding. And if you're a new agent, you have no brand. And if you haven't figured it out, you have no stock on the internet. So not many people are going to find you on Google unless they actually are looking for your name. So that's not really online lead generation. That's just somebody knows you and they're looking for you, right? So, but with Facebook, for 200 bucks, you can capture hundreds of leads and your business page is going to be seen 15 to 20,000 times. I had a closing last month. It wasn't my listing. If I want to post it as sold, send it to my buyer. Yeah. I cannot find a sold listing. Yeah, so Michael is saying that you helped somebody buy a home last month, right? So it's sold. You can't use a grab because it's not visible, Michael. You have to manually create this listing now. And then when you create it, change the property to sold. And you can even say just sold as selling agent. Okay? Yeah, it's not visible to be pulled up like that anymore. So we can't do that. So that's it. And so a lot of our clients do that. And I will say this, and I hope Michael is understanding this. If you help somebody buy a home and you want your own listings in that neighborhood, taking this action right here and putting in this listing as it's sold, and you sold it 30 days ago, that's fine with me. I didn't even say 60 days ago. Put it in here and then go, once the listing is in here, go get that nearby homeowner letter that I mentioned. And if you want, door knock it. I know COVID is spooky and I know it's snowing and raining everywhere. But even if you leave it behind, people are going to open that door after you leave, because I mean, people stopped answering the door out here, decades ago. so I'm the only fool that answers the door when somebody knocks in my neighborhood. But anyway, yeah, you want to get this into the market, Michael. If you're going to take that step of putting it in there, yeah, run an ad, but getting this in the market is going to get you some high quality listing leads. So I recommend that to everybody. Okay, so let's go to the last section, which is landing pages. The last place to get listing leads. There might be a couple of others, but when you go to the landing page section, you will notice that you have 3 landing pages already created: free home values, down payment assistance, and new construction. You can customize all of them. But what I want to point out is you can also create your own valuation pages, right? And you should have your own for each one of the target markets, your farm markets, right? So if you're building your business in multiple cities, or if you're building your business in a particular neighborhood, you want a page for that neighborhood, right? So here I've got my one here in Release Valley, and it's over here on the right. And I'm going to click on edit. And I'm going to talk about this. To create a page like this, let me show you that real fast. You go to the landing page section, you click this green button that says create landing page at the top left. You create a property valuation plus. That's our free home value page. And then call it whatever neighborhood or town you need to call it, right? And just spell it right, because that's going to be showing up right in the landing page, right? And click create landing page. But I've already got one created for Release Valley, so let's talk about that. Now, you see this weird picture I have in the background? That's because this is a neighborhood. This is a neighborhood of my town of this, you know, super sweet, coveted, beautiful homes, acreage, all the stuff that you want in California. And the entrance to Release Valley has a swim club. So if you know that swim club, you know Release Valley. And if I'm going to ask you for your address and contact information and you don't know me, I have to develop trust with you somehow. And the fact that I can say, hey, I actually know the swim club here is a good first step. Okay. So get a picture, it says upload picture over here, of a landmark of something that resonates, that you know their neighborhood, right, or their town. You know, like, I don't know, St. Louis, the St. Louis Arch, right, that would work, or whatever, right? Santa Monica, the Santa Monica Pier, you know what I'm saying. Now, when you click advanced options on the top left, there's something here that says print marketing. And print marketing has a letter that looks like the nearby homeowner letter, but this time you don't actually need a listing, you just needed to create the landing page. And I didn't show you this, but right next to download is an edit pencil, or a pencil that means edit. So you could edit this page, and you should, because there's some generic language here. It says November sales are in, and what you should do is click the edit pencil and put in the sales, like 30 homes sold last month, the high was 1 million, and blah, 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 a couple lines. You want to keep this on one page. It's just a really light read, but it says that affected your home value, get your free home value. And then again, get this in the neighborhood, right? This is a great tool to use to get listing leads. Now, once you created that landing page, you could also go back to the ad section and say, you know what, I created that landing page and I want to create a landing page ad, right? So I'm going to click on landing pages and go down to my property valuation plus section and click on Release Valley and create an ad, right? So let me just tell you a little bit of why this ad doesn't work so well. In the past, I could target a zip code, and I could even say people have to live there. That made an ad like this awesome. Now, if I type in Lafayette, if you type in a zip code, your ad will be blocked. If I type in the name of a city, I cannot shrink the radius to less than 15 miles. That means this ad that's talking about a little neighborhood in a town of 25,000 people is going to overshoot, you know, 15 miles in every direction, meaning this is going to be seen in a lot of towns where this is not relevant. And if they click on my ad, they chew up around $5 of my ad spend. So every time somebody clicks, they chew $5 off of my 50 here, right? So that's kind of why I'm not really into this kind of ad. Some agents are still doing it, and it's still working. Okay. Does everybody understand what I have been talking about here? Are there any questions? And we got 5 more minutes. I'm going to show you something that is super powerful here. And you should be using this every time you run an ad. Okay. And that is retargeting. And when you turn on retargeting, it tells us to create files of all of your leads. So you're going to have a file of all of your leads inside Facebook to retarget. When we started the call, I was talking to you about follow-up and I was talking to you about converting leads, right? Well, one of the ways of converting leads is to get in front of those leads. And by using retargeting, you're able to get your ad. This ad is going to show up of everybody that lives within 15 miles of Lafayette, but also every one of my old leads. It's kind of like your drip campaign, but it's on Facebook, because you keep showing ads to them until they say, you know what, I know that business page. And it's when they see your brand multiple times that they actually trust the brand, trust you, and want to do business with you. So that's an important piece. Now, all I've said there, except for the first 30 minutes of this call, every one of the calls that I do is recorded, and it's right here on this page. So if you've got some time, between now and New Year's, here's my get started call. And that one was kind of nothing too crazy in that one, but some of these things, top tools to get listings, this is actually last week's one. There are some calls right here, this one, get started, talk about the calculator. I also talk about custom audience and Facebook retargeting. And that's what I'm kind of talking about right now, but I don't have the time to go into detail. But as you can see, on December 6th, there is a get started call, and I go into real deep detail. And the reason why I'm telling you this is, like I said, we want you to convert leads. And by retargeting, you're going to convert more leads, okay? So check out my old webinars from December. If you can just do that, check out the mastermind group and see you're going to see all the stuff. And we've been pushing a lot of new technology, and you need to absolutely be using that new stuff. We talked about some of it today, but there's even more. So are there any questions about how to get more listings with listings to leads? I don't see any questions. I hope this all makes some sense to you. Let me remind you, because I think, yes, definitely put it to work. And I want to remind you, when we started the call, I know a lot of people came in late today. I'm going to put this calculator in the chat panel right now and send this to everybody. I think you should, if you plan to be in real estate next year, 2022, you need to have a plan. And this is going to help you forecast that. Nina's asking, can I select multiple audiences? Yes, you can. So when we're talking about creating an ad, and that's why, let me just say, I talk in depth. I showed you the call here about retargeting custom audiences. I talk in depth about that there. You can have multiple audiences. And in that call that I just showed you, I show you how to create custom audiences of your old leads. So if you have let's say you've got a CRM with like 1,000 leads in it, right? And, are they calling you all the time? Probably not. So you can export that list and then go here to our ad section and import that as a custom audience. And that right there says create audience. This is simplified Facebook. This whole page here is simplified Facebook. Incredibly well. If you have not figured it out, let me state it for you. If you are in real estate, you should be running your ads on this page every time, because we check all the boxes so that you don't make any mistakes. A guide to follow for posting on a monthly basis. Is that anywhere inside? Jennifer, it's not. That's why, Scott and I say it almost every time. Yeah, Marcelo, you found the link to the calculator. My guide is at least 2 ads a week, one on a listing, even if you borrow the listing, and one on a PDF report ad or a landing page. I'm going to tell you this as well, since we're all hanging out, and I didn't tell it to you before. I did talk about it this month, but I didn't talk about it today. right here under listings, you can click settings, and there's a tab that says ads, and you can turn on automate. And what this says is run the ads automatically for me. Every time I have just listed an open house or sold, I want you to run maximum of, let's just say 4 ads a week. That's actually good. 4 ads a week would be awesome. But I want to put a maximum budget of $300, right? So if you do that, if you turn that on, anytime your listing flips from just listed to open house or open house is sold, boom, we're going to run the ad automatically for you. So that's another good way of doing it. But yeah, we don't have that kind of calendar there. And here's a big reason why. If you're somebody with 2 or 3 listings, you need to be running more ads. You need to be running probably two listing ads every week, not 1, right? Remember, 1 listing ad and 1 PDF report ad every week is for a rookie green agent with no business, okay? Meaning you don't have any transactions on the horizon. You should actually be running a $200 a month budget for a whole year. And then it'll all make sense because you'll be getting business and you'll be like, okay, I get why I need to be doing this consistently and this and that, right? So you can turn it on, have us do it for you automatically. I think it doesn't take any time to run an ad. It actually takes about 10 seconds. Either way, run your ads, do it right here in the section so that we are checking all the boxes for you. And then, you're going to be good to go. Any other questions? At this point, we hit the 12 o'clock mark, and I appreciate you hanging out with me, but I'm happy to answer any kind of questions for you. Definitely get in the mastermind group. If you are not in the mastermind group, go to the support page down here, and just in this box, say, hey, please add me to the group, right? The mastermind group, and they'll help you. Our support team is awesome. Yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for joining me today. I hope this helps. Definitely check out the calculator, and you need to have a few hundred leads a month. I mean, I don't know if you want to be selling 50,000. I don't know if you want to make 50 or 100,000 or 200,000, but that calculator is going to give you a ballpark of the amount of leads you need. And then you can just go to the mastermind group and see other agents generating way more leads than that, right? And telling you how they're getting those leads, right? And that'll help you out. I think that's going to give you some good stepping stones to have successful 2022. So everybody, thanks so much for joining me. This call is being recorded. It will be in the mastermind group later today. Keep safe and have a happy new year. And take care, everybody. Bye-bye.